You Better Have Some Faith by Kateb Nuri Alim Shunna. Now, baby, you better have some faith, and not that cheap kind either. I'm talking real, full-bodied, old school, sit down and rest your soul kind of faith. Not that I believe until the bills come due faith, or the I trust God until my little boyfriend stop texting back kind of faith. Nah. I mean the kind that keeps you holding on when everything in your life is throwing a tantrum. Now sit down and let me talk to you for a minute. This ain't no TED Talk. This is grandmama wisdom, seasoned, sassy, and sacred. You ain't gotta take notes, just open up that hard head and soft heart. I promise it'll land where it needs to. See, baby, faith ain't something you pull out on Sunday and tuck away in your purse like a peppermint. It's something you live, walk, breathe, and sometimes cry through. It's what keeps you together when your edges are frayed and your bank account is laughing at you louder than your problems. Let me break it down for you with a little parable I know. The parable of Miss Loretta and her collard greens. There once was a sweet old woman named Miss Loretta. Everybody in town knew her collard greens could heal a broken heart, clear sinuses, and make a grown man cry. Well, one year, the ground got dry, the sun stayed hot. No rain, no mercy. Everybody told Miss Loretta, "Ain't no way them greens gonna grow this year, you better sit this season out." But Miss Loretta, she said, y'all don't know my God. She tilled the dirt anyway. She sang over the soil, laid down seeds like prayers, and watered that dry ground with the little she had, and I don't just mean water. She poured hope into that soil like molasses on hot biscuits. And would you believe, weeks later, little green leaves peeked up through that cracked earth. Them greens came up stubborn and strong, just like Miss Loretta. When folks asked her what her secret was, she said, "Baby, faith is like greens. It don't make sense to everybody. It takes time to cook, and it sure ain't for the impatient." Now that's the kind of faith I'm talking about. See, too many of y'all want microwave miracles, but faith don't come with a ready in 60 seconds guarantee. Faith is like a gumbo, it's gotta simmer. You gotta stir it even when you don't see nothing. You gotta trust that what you're cooking is gonna feed you when it's done, even if all you got right now is steam. And Lord help us, some of y'all got drive-through faith. You only show up to get something, and if it don't come fast enough, you mad at the chef. Baby, this ain't Burger King. You can't have it your way. You can have it God's way, though. And let me tell you from experience, God's way will season your life better than you ever could. Now, don't get me wrong. I know it's hard. I know you're tired. I know your prayers feel like they hitting the ceiling and falling back down like confetti at a broke party. But that's when faith matters most. When you can't see nothing. When it feels like you're on hold and heaven's voicemail box is full. But hear me good. Faith ain't feeling. Faith is knowing. It's knowing that even when you're walking through a storm with holes in your shoes and questions in your pocket, the divine has not left you. Now let me hit you with some proverbial wisdom, grandmama style. A closed mouth don't get fed my eye, but a closed heart don't get healed. You can't put your trust in folks who change like weather. Put it in the one who made the sky. Don't borrow worry from tomorrow when God already covered today. And for heaven's sake, stop trying to make sense out of every little thing. Faith don't always come with explanations. Sometimes it just shows up with a whisper. Keep going. And that's enough. So here's what I want you to do, sugar. Next time life starts swinging, stand flat-footed in the kitchen of your soul, look that problem dead in the eye and say, "I done been seasoned by storms and stirred by struggle. Don't test me. I got faith in my bones and I ain't scared to use it." And when it feels like all you got left is crumbs, remember God can make a feast out of crumbs if your faith is strong enough to invite him to the table. Just like Miss Loretta did. Final word from Grandmama's porch. Now, baby, before you run off and forget every holy thing I just told you, hear this. You're gonna need some faith in this life, and not wishing, not hoping, not manifesting with some moon rock and a vision board. I mean real, grounded. Even if I don't see it, I still trust it kind of faith. The kind that don't need applause, just assurance. The kind that walks with a limp but still walks anyway. And if life gets stanky, if folks get trifling, if your dreams smell like burnt toast, get up, go to the powder room, light a candle, say a prayer, spray some air freshener, then come back out and keep walking by faith like you ain't never even stumbled. Now go on, get. And remember, faith might not make it easy, but it sure makes it worth it. And baby, you better have some.